Peace and blessings, beautiful souls. I am Jeannie Muhammad, your happiness coach. Thank you for being here with me again this morning or afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. But thank you for being here. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to give me a few minutes of it. I am grateful for that. I'm always grateful for that. I am also a holistic wellness coach, an assertive and confidence coach. I am the author of 5 self-development books. I blog, and you can go to my website, Jeannie at iamjeaniem.com, and read some of my blogs. I love to write. I love uh, helping and empowering and inspiring uh, us to be a better me and a better you. So please go to my website and read some of my blogs. Also, I am on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, and I would appreciate it if you will go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to it. I am striving to grow, and that would help me with that goal if you will go to YouTube and subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of things coming up that I'm going to tell you about. Tonight, I have another podcast that is called Inner Peace and Serenity, and it is at Keever's Place, the Keever Murdoch Show and Podcast. It is live on YouTube and Facebook. It's at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And my special guest this evening will be Supriya Prasad. She is the Spirit Digital. And we will be talking about how our chakras affect our business, not only just in a personal way, but in how we conduct our business. So please come back to be with me this evening on the at Keever's Place uh, on March the 12th, which is a Saturday. I will be conducting a free workshop. It will be virtual. It will be on Zoom. It is called Build Confidence Now, because we all know how important it is for our confidence level to be high in order for us to achieve and be successful. It is March 12th, Saturday, between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is a free workshop. You can go to at Eventbrite to register. So I would love to see you there, and we can build up our confidence together. Today's topic that I chose for positivity is the key. Because as you know, I'm very, very adamant about how positive we have to be in order to overcome a lot of the problems that we encounter in our lives. Positivity and being positive that's a high vibrational level. And the more that I have studied and understand energy, the higher we are on that vibrational level, the we attract better things into our lives. If we're on a negative level, a low vibrational level, that's what we will attract. And today I'm talking about As I have said to you many times, I am just learning how to do this. I hit one of those buttons that I'm always talking about. How I hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button. And if you are still with me, thank you so much for staying here with me. And I've just been hitting buttons. And I realized all I have to do is just wait, and that would end. So please forgive me. But life happens, and life just happened. So, what we were discussing and what I wanted to say is that today's topic is heal from within the mind. We sometimes do not utilize our mind in order to help us to have a better life. Our mind is a powerful, powerful thing, and it can either motivate us towards success, or we can put thoughts into our heads that will cause us to fail at whatever we may strive to do. So it's important that we understand the power of the mind. And our minds can aid us in healing from within. First of all, I want to make it clear that I am not a physician. I'm not a medical doctor. I am a coach. One of my certifications is in holistic wellness. I coach in happiness. I coach just setting goals, life coaching, helping people to achieve their business goals. I coach. I'm certified in assertiveness and confidence. All of these things work together. There is not a separate entity over here and one over here. They all work together in us achieving what we need in order to live joyful, peaceful, happy lives. The mind, heal from within. Our mind, we have our conscious mind that most of us, are aware of. If we stop right now, we can say what's on our conscious mind and what that conscious mind is saying to us. But I want to deal with the subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind records everything that happens to us in our lives. Okay, when we're born, and actually even before we're born, um, things that happen to us when we're in our mother's womb, things that are said, things that are done, we actually pick all of those things up on a subconscious level. But when we are born and we're born into a family or things that are said around us, we start being programmed. We start being programmed to think a certain way. We are affected by the people around us and what they say and tell us, what we see on TV, what we hear on the radio, the music that's being played around us. All of these things are being recorded in our subconscious mind. So when we have negative experiences in our lives, that is also that's recorded in our mind. Now we may think, we say, well, I'm just not going to I'm going to eliminate that from my mind. I'm going to forget about that. But the thing is, we may push it out of our conscious mind, but it's still in our subconscious mind. And a lot of the things that we do, a lot of the ways that we feel are because of those things that have been recorded in our subconscious mind. So it's important that we know that when it comes to our health, our mental health. I want to tell you a story um, about myself. As a child growing up, I had a chronic case of asthma. I was very, very, very sick from the time that I was 3 years old. I was constantly going in and out of the hospital. Now, we lived in the country on a farm, and we really did not have a lot of money. And I always really felt very, very, very uh, guilty about the fact that I was causing my parents to spend money that I knew we did not have. Also, my father was very abusive towards my mother. And so my childhood was one of not being very happy in some aspects, but at the same time on another level. And I had a wonderful childhood in some areas, but I want to deal today with this area of my childhood that was not so good. As I grew up, I let me backtrack a minute. The doctors several times told my mother that I was not going to live. My mother was told by the doctors that they had done everything that they could do for me medically, and that I was not going to live. Um, my mother was a very praying woman, and she would sit by my bedside and constantly be in prayer that I would live. And as I grew older, I always had, faith that somehow, some way I would be healed. As I grew up, my asthma did get better because I realized that I had allergies. I'm allergic to cats and certain types of dogs. I'm allergic to certain foods. And so, with learning how to control my diet, my health did improve to some extent, but I still had to carry around an inhaler with me at all times because I never knew when I might have an asthma attack. So I was always carrying an inhaler with me. I couldn't go anywhere without it. So I am very aware of the good and the wonderfulness of the medical profession. And I always say that we have some wonderful doctors, nurses. I really admire people in the medical profession. And I also know that there are things that we can do to take responsibility for our own health. So that was what I did when I changed up my diet. I found out the things that I was allergic to, and learned to stay away from those things. I'm allergic to cigarette smoke. So I know that I cannot be around cigarette smoke, that it will trigger my allergies. So as I grew older, and my asthma did improve to some extent, I still had to have my inhaler. I was blessed to go to a conference that was called by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And it was a conference concerning um, Dianetics, that L. Ron Hubbard made very popular when he wrote the book, Dianetics, Science of the Mind. And it's very controversial. A lot of people do not adhere to what I'm saying, but I'm telling you about my experience. I'm telling you about what understanding my mind and the subconscious mind, what it did for me. This is healed from within the mind. And sometimes we have to have an open mind in order to receive certain things. So what I'm telling you is my experience and what it did for me. So I went through this conference, and then I decided that I wanted to become a Dianetic auditor. And in order to receive my certification for this, I went through the training and I had to be audited. So I was audited, and in my being audited, I was asked to recall going back in my life, going back as far as I could recall and bring up the different experiences in my life and going deep into the subconscious mind to dig deep down into things that were buried in my subconscious mind. So I went through um, being audited. And after the process, I realized I was breathing better. I realized that I didn't have to have my inhaler any longer. I still carried it with me because it was like a crutch. So I still carried it with me for maybe a year, but I didn't have to use it anymore. My asthma was gone. See, a lot of our illnesses are psychosomatic, and psycho is of the mind. Some of my illnesses are things that are in our mind that our minds have uh because of the stress, the things that happen. Now I came to realize through the Dianetics auditing that my asthma was connected to uh the abuse that my mother went through and how I saw it and the guilt that I took on because of it as a 3-year-old child. It was my mind that was making me sick. Once I understood this, and once I went to the root of what was the cause of my asthma, I don't have asthma anymore. I have not had an asthma attack for 10 years now. No, 11 years. I even had COVID. And COVID is with the lungs, just as asthma is dealing with the lungs. I had COVID. Now, if it was going to affect my lungs, and I was amazed that it did not affect my lungs. First of all, I do a lot of making sure that I get a lot of sunlight, vitamin D, vitamin C. I have built up my immune system. I make sure that I do the things that I should to make sure that my immune system is such that it helped to fight it off. But what I am emphasizing is that we have the ability to heal from within, and our mind, our subconscious mind, has a lot to do with how we handle our illnesses. I believe that working in conjunction with therapists, the medical doctors, that we can control what happens to us and our illnesses. The mind, it has a lot to do with our mind. So I have a wonderful physician. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. And by the way, it's really beautiful here today. The sun is out. I'm going to go out and get me some of that wonderful sunshine, breathe some wonderful air, and enjoy that. But my physician, we work together so that my health, I take it into my own hands, and I just don't rely on my physician to just tell me what I need to do, and I just mindlessly do it. I take responsibility for my own health. So I am saying that we have the power to heal from within our mind. That it starts with our mind. Look at whatever illness you may be experiencing today and think about using your mind along with whatever medicine that your doctor may be prescribing for you. I'm not saying don't use your medicine. And in fact, I would never ever take that up on myself because I'm not qualified to. But I do know from experience how much my mind was controlling my health. So now I am very conscious of ways to reduce the stress that is in my life. I'm very conscious of what I eat. I'm very conscious of my thoughts because I understand how much that controls my mind. We can heal from within. Our minds are very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. I'm going to see if I can hit the right button here. And because there's something else that I wanted to emphasize about our minds. I think I got the right button. There. Love and compassion. See, these are very vibrational. Uh, uh, it's on a high vibrational frequency. Love and compassion, especially love for ourselves and falling in love with ourselves and giving ourselves that love and that compassion. It has a lot to do with the way we think, and it has a lot to do with the way we act, and it has a lot to do with how we see others, and it has a lot to do with our wellness. And if we operate on that high frequency of love and compassion for ourselves, we're going to give ourselves the best of everything. That means the best thoughts, what we think, the best. What do we program into our mind on a daily basis? Because we've all been programmed to think a certain way. Now that we know that, it's up to us to take it into our hands to program ourselves. And we can program ourselves. We've been programmed by others, and we've been programmed by outside forces. Now let's come within. Let's come within and give ourselves that love and that compassion that we need in order to become the healthy uh, people that we should be. We deserve to be healthy. We deserve to be mentally healthy. We're going through a lot of things today. What with the pandemic, the upheaval that's in the world, the chaos that's in the world. Our children are suffering because of it. But there are things that we can do and we can take responsibility for where our own mental health can be helped in conjunction to your therapist, your psychologist, your physician. Aid them by taking responsibility for yourself, loving yourself, and having compassion for yourself will go a long ways towards your mental health. Heal from within. Use your mind to aid in your health. I am so happy that you have decided to be with me today because it shows that you are interested and you want to take responsibility for your health. So I thank you for these few minutes that you have decided to spend with me. I am always grateful for that. And I pray that something that I have said today will aid you in becoming a healthier individual mentally. Heal from within. Use that great power that we have been given by God to aid in our healing. I am Jeannie Muhammad, your happiness coach. I really am appreciative of the time that you have given me today, and I am going to exit gracefully uh, and see if I can hit this uh, right button here so that we can, let me see. There are. Thank you again for being with me. I think I know what I'm doing now. And when I grow up, when I become the true adult that I know that God wants me to be, I'm gonna hit all those right buttons. Thank you for being with me again. I am Jeannie Muhammad, your happiness coach.